Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for joining me. This is part 3 of my question and answer video I do every single week. I'm answering questions from last week. All you got to do if you want me to ask me a question, just go down in the comment section right down there, type in your question, and I'll answer it next Monday in the next Q&A video, okay? So I'm just going to jump right in with the first question for part 3. Is from Alicia in Canada. Hello, Alicia. What is the difference between antisocial personality disorder and narcissistic personality disorder? I'm having a hard time deciphering between the two. I am also curious how someone ends up with antisocial personality disorder and where it stems from as a kid. If someone has antisocial personality disorder, can they get better and develop awareness? Also, is this the same term as sociopath? Thank you so much. I watch your videos every Monday and look forward to them. You have helped me more than you know. Thank you for telling me, Alicia. What's the difference? Antisocial personality disorder is what we call sociopath and psychopath. So get that out of the way right away, okay? Sociopath, psychopath falls under antisocial personality disorder. The main difference between those two is one is born that way, the psychopath, and one is made that way, the sociopath. There are 3 things that make up who we are. And one is our genetic makeup. Personality disorders, there is a slight link in genetic makeup, genetic links. Second is our upbringing, okay, our developmental upbringing. And then third is our environment, culture, okay? Most of this is how we're brought up. Most of this is lack of emotional needs being met. There's neglect and some abuse. So if you already know what a narcissist is, I don't need to go into that. The sociopath and psychopath, the antisocial personality disorder, also meets the requirements for narcissistic personality disorder. So you've got narcissist, right? And then the sociopath, psychopath is more. There's more to them. I hear some people say, you know, they're a sociopath with narcissistic tendencies. Well, yeah, they're a narcissist. Sociopaths and psychopaths are narcissists. You don't need to even say that, okay? But what you can say is some people are narcissists with sociopathic tendencies, meaning they don't quite meet the criteria for antisocial, but they have a lot. There's a lot of overlap in personality disorders. So, one of the main differences in the criteria is there are some traits that make antisocial. They don't all have this, but there are some. One is reckless disregard for safety of self or others. Common for sociopaths to drive crazy in a car and to scare you. They're driving fast and wild and crazy, opposite side of the road, all this stuff, twice, 3 times the speed limit, and they don't care what happens to them either. They're not even wearing their own seatbelt. You'll hear sociopaths like the one who smears me all the time says, I don't care about me. I don't care what happens to me. I'll go down with him. Yeah, she doesn't care what happens to her. Very common for sociopaths. They want you to kill yourself in a smear campaign, and they don't care if they go down with you or something. It's just insane. They will resolve things with physical violence. Not all. It's just it's one of the criteria. Okay, one of the traits. But it doesn't mean they all have that. But it's typical. The antisocial has total disregard for lawful behaviors. Okay, they don't care about laws and they don't care about rules. They believe that they don't apply to them. Rules and laws don't apply to me. Where the narcissist doesn't necessarily think that. Not all. Okay? Now, some major differences that I can tell you about that you may not see in the DSM is people with antisocial personality disorder have been horrifically abused. Not every narcissist has been that abused, okay? But antisocial has been abused horrifically, and they typically have been taught how to be a bad person, do bad things and break the law and hurt people. They've been taught by their parent, where narcissists haven't necessarily been taught how to be bad by a parent that's also that bad, right? So a sociopathic father will typically raise a sociopathic child. Not always, not at all, just that's typical. That's where it comes from. That can be very typical. Narcissists believe that they're horrible people. They feel shame, and they believe that they're bad people and not equal. Where the sociopath believes that we're all bad people. And that's why they don't care what they do. They don't care what people think of them. They have less shame in that sense, right? But they hate themselves, and they believe everyone's just as bad. No big deal. It's okay to be horrific to other people. Just don't get caught, right? One of the only emotions sociopaths might have is just anxiety disorder, afraid of getting caught, the mask being pulled off, right? That's all they really care about. Disgusting people. Now, you ask me, can they get better and develop awareness? They're not going to get cured of the disorder, but everyone can better themselves somehow. Everybody can typically better themselves somehow. I've met sociopaths who come right out and say, I'm a sociopath, I have antisocial personality disorder, I exploit people and I don't want to, and I think the only way that I can do that is not be around people, period. That's what I've been told by many, seen and been told by many sociopaths, that you're only in their life if they can exploit you. And for people that don't want to be that way anymore, it's so hard for them, they pretty much can't have anyone around them or they'll exploit them. That's just how their brain works. Pretty sad. Hope I've helped you understand. Sociopath has been horrifically abused and been taught to be a bad person and believes everybody is bad. Not good. Thank you for your question. Next question is from Liebeslove from North Cyprus. Hello. David, I have a question. If we have been hard done by in a narcissistically abusive relationship, how have our parents failed us? Where did they go wrong? And this is such a loaded question, right? I make videos after videos after videos trying to help people understand this, and it's still really hard for people to understand. So I'm not going to be able to answer your question right away, just like answering it, okay? If you hire a professional, they'll help you know specifically where your parents might have gone wrong. So I can only answer it generally. Generally, if our parents don't love us enough, we have a void and we meet somebody else who doesn't love us enough. It's about familiarity. If our parents are emotionally unavailable, we tend to date other people who are emotionally unavailable. If our parents hit us, we tend to date other people that hit us. And this means we need to heal. We need to feel better about it and learn from it and learn the truth and what's really going on. Okay? That we heal from that and we no longer have or let people do it to us. The biggest problem that parents have gone wrong is they have emotionally neglected their children. They have not taught their children how to meet their emotional needs, and so they go on to life never having their emotional needs met. This kind of neglect causes shame. Abuse causes shame. Shame lowers your self-worth, and then now you don't believe you're worth anything more than somebody who abuses you, someone who neglects you, someone who hurts you and talks bad about you and makes you feel bad and unstable and no security and all these things. You don't feel like you're worth more than that. Or it's familiar. This is how my childhood was. And most of us don't realize that we've been emotionally neglected, those of us who have, and so we don't realize we have something to fix, something to change. To put it in a nutshell, your parents didn't love you enough. Okay? And by not loving you enough, you don't love yourself enough. And then you go meet other people that don't love you enough, like narcissists who don't love people. Okay? I hope I explained that enough for you. But please just keep asking me questions, okay? Thank you. Steve from Atlantic, Canada. Hello, Steve. Hey, David, thanks for reading and answering my question about borderline X with substance abuse and self-harm problems. When you said time doesn't measure success in regards to being in a relationship with someone with BPD, that makes so much sense. So thank you for that. You're welcome. Thank you. I tried everything I possibly could to try and make the relationship work, from always supporting her positive progress with her therapy and recovery, to researching BPD, to providing the time and space for her to heal in the ways she needs to heal. Very nice of you. Was it about someone with BPD that allows the feelings of guilt and failure, what is it about someone with BPD that allows the feelings of guilt and failure after the breakdown of a relationship to affect the other person so much? Thanks again, and I hope everyone who needs to be help coping and recovering reaches out and gets that help. Thank you, Steve. Borderlines parentify people, okay? So if you're going to date a borderline, they start parentifying you real quick. And that means you start, and if you stay with them, then you're assuming that parentification. You've probably been parentified somehow by your parents and your family growing up, where we assume responsibility for what people do, we assume responsibility for how people feel, and we believe that we can help, that word help. And then we feel sorry. We feel sorry. We feel sorry for the borderline because they're helpless. They're a helpless child. They can't do anything for themselves. And we know they're going to fail miserably for the rest of their life. And when we date them, we are parentified and we start taking care of them. We start holding them up, and then we realize if we let go, they're going to fall and die. We also lose ourself, and we make everything about them. So when we leave this codependent relationship, we can't stop thinking about them, right? And we can't stop worrying what's going to happen to them. And we're addicted to them. So a lot of this is addiction. Hormones rising and falling, and we feel addicted to them. We need them, even though we hate them and they're dangerous to us and all this. Okay? It might be familiar. It might be like your mom or father that you never healed from. You might be addicted to them. You've been parentified, and you believe you're responsible for them now, forever. Make sense? So you feel sorry for them. Feeling sorry for people all the time means you haven't healed the pain you have inside. You're identifying with other people through pain and suffering. That will get you in so much trouble it's not even funny. Stop feeling sorry for people, or at least watch out for the people you feel sorry for. Okay? Thanks, Steve. Hope that helped. Keep asking questions. Let's see where we are here. We have a few left. Maybe I can get it done. Part 3. That's not a question. Hi, hello David. Emily from Latvia. Hello, Emily. Nice to hear from you again. Wow, you did the part 4 for the first time. I hope your remove has been successful. Thank you very much, Emily. Could you please kindly talk about survivors' strength that comes out of experiencing narcissistic relationships, skills that survivors got after surviving narcissistic relationships? Many thanks for sharing your experience and all you do for us. Look, if we've been in relationships with abusive, personality disorder people, there's a lot of stuff that we never learned growing up. And so there's a lot of stuff, a lot of people out there that kind of know this stuff, right? They learned it in childhood. Parents taught them right away. So we're catching up, okay? But in this process, we learn so much, it's not even funny. I'm talking a 4-year college education. I mean, we learn so much, and we learn a lot more than most people from this, okay? We find ourselves. We learn all kinds about ourselves. We learn all kinds about abusive, toxic people. And we should learn what a really healthy, loving, growing relationship consists of. And that might be some, the kind of information and just priceless information that we've gathered that everybody else may not know very well. Lots of information. Lots of ways to navigate through life and give ourselves what we need is what we're supposed to be learning. That's why I'm telling you guys that this ain't about just feeling better. You got hurt, you feel better, you do it again. Why? You didn't learn. We gotta learn. I did. All I did was work and learn. I obsessed. I forfeited my personal life, emotional life. I don't recommend that. I didn't know what I was doing. This was years ago before there was much help for this. And I learned and I learned and I learned. I sat in college lectures and I studied and I read books and I listened to other speakers and I talked to other survivors and I just did everything I could to learn and any information that was available out there on how to heal from trauma, how to have a good relationship. I learned it. I learned it and I learned it and I learned it. And we're talking years of self-education I've had. And that's how I know all this stuff. But it's priceless information. It really is. I mean, I can have anybody in the world I might be able to give some kind of advice to help them out a little bit. It's amazing. So it helps you help ourselves, give ourselves what we need. Okay? It's huge. I mean, I know how to raise people's self-esteem, self-worth. I know how to have a healthy, happy, loving, growing marriage, relationship, raise children. I know this stuff now if I want to do it. My whole life is ahead of me now. We aren't a product of what happened to us, but we are who we decide to be and become, a product of our choices. So as horrible experiences as we have all had, there's so much to learn from it. So much to learn. And emotional success will prepare you for success in all areas of your life. Emotional is most important. So for those self-made millionaires that may sacrifice their emotional life growing up, they're going to pay for it with all their millions of dollars, right? They're going to have all this money and success, physically success, financial success, but not emotional. And they're not happy. There really is no success in that. We have to make success inside who we are first. Relationships, okay? Lots of stuff to learn. Keep learning. And thank you for asking. Hi, David. My name is Melissa. I live in Olympia, Washington. Hi, Melissa. That's where Olympia Beer was. Remember Olympia Beer? I recently went into contact with in my humble opinion, covert narcissistic mother. It took me a year to make the decision, and depending on the day, I feel it's the best decision I could have made in my life. I don't have a lot of money, crappy insurance. I've been working on it myself in videos like yours. Something you said in one of your videos really resonated with me. You said, I'm paraphrasing, if you feel lonely, bored, worried, anxious, and depressed, these are signs that you're not in a good relationship with yourself. I did say that. What are some tools or therapies or terms I can look up to help me strengthen my sense of self? How do I elevate my self-worth? It sounds odd to say out loud, but other than validating my feelings and putting my needs first, I'm not sure what else to do. Thank you for your time. Work with a professional, really, because this is about awareness, which means consciousness, and having someone over here looking at us and our life and our situation from over here looks a hell of a lot different than it does here. Someone over here looks way different than it does right here. Do you get what I'm saying? 360 degrees all around us. You have 360 people standing around telling us what they see, and it's all going to be different, okay? So you want to increase awareness and consciousness, get help to do that. It's extremely difficult, if not impossible, to do by yourself without any guidance at all. 5 factors of yourself. Find out your opinion, what you want, what you need, how you feel, and what you value. I've broken it down to 5 parts. Be in tune and know what these are. Know what you want. Know what you value. Know what you need. And start expressing this every day. Start expressing this in your daily activities and your choices that you make and the relationships you have with people. That's how you do it. Start exploring the world. Start exploring what interests you. Try to stop comparing yourself with other people. There's just a lot. There's a lot. But that's the basics of it, okay? I hope that helps. Thank you, Melissa, for asking very much, and good luck. Rachel from Tennessee. Hello, Rachel. I can't begin to say how much your videos and coaching has helped me. Thank you. Quick question. Is it normal to want bad luck to come to your abuser? I am healing myself. I'm beating myself up for thinking mean thoughts about my abuser. It would just make my pain a little easier to know his life isn't all rainbows and unicorns. I feel guilty for having these thoughts and was just curious if anyone else has just felt this way and what I can do to stop focusing on wanting his life to be hard. Okay, beautiful question. Thank you, Rachel. This is why he hurt you. Because he hurt so bad he didn't know what else to do. He thought of hurting you. And now you feel so bad you don't know what to do. You want to hurt him back. Hurt people hurt people. This gives you a little insight on your narcissist, your borderline, your sociopath, psychopath, and why they're hurting people. Because they hurt inside. And I know they're smiling and acting like everything's great. That's because they're trying to ignore how they feel inside. They care about what people see. They think that's who they are. It's normal to want to hurt someone back, okay? Big part of this is you have these feelings and you have these thoughts, and then you feel ashamed and you feel guilty. That's harsh too. Try to accept your thoughts and realize that that's not you. That's one part, okay? Our thoughts aren't us. This is our brain, and the worse you're doing in life, the more impulsive we are. The worse you aren't protecting yourself, the worse this is looking for danger, okay? It's not who you are. We need to calm down, protect ourselves, and have a more stable life, and this inner voice goes away. We're depressed, inner critic inside starts telling us bad things. Okay, that's that. Wanting to do these things is okay. Just accept it and work through it. We need to heal, Rachel. The further you are along or away from this, the better you'll feel about it. In 20 years from now, you aren't going to want to hurt him because you're working with somebody. Me. You're going to feel better about this soon. You're going to understand, Rachel, that even though he was doing this to you and it hurt you, that this was about him. And we can't have people like this in our lives. And I'm going to show you why we have him in our lives. And I'm going to start helping you fix these things and raising our self-worth and educating ourselves emotionally, okay? That's why. It's normal. It's normal. But we can't do it. Then you'll feel more ashamed and more guilty of what you're doing and how you're treating people, right? If we hate someone because they're bad, we can't be bad, right? That's it. Thanks, Rachel. And it's called, just to let you know, it's kind of Machiavellian. You guys can look that up if you want. Machiavellianism. Machiavellianism. And that's cunning, scheming, and unscrupulous, especially in politics. But it's basically wanting, they don't have the right definition. A person who schemes in a Machiavellian way. Oh, it's got a big long definition here. It's somebody that enjoys seeing other people's demise, seeing people fail, seeing people get hurt. And we're all, it's a spectrum, and sometimes we're all guilty of that. We want to see people get hurt, right? Look at the person that smears me for 3 years. That's all they want. They want everyone to do bad. They want everyone to suffer. They want people to kill themselves in their name. Yeah, gross, just sick. Machiavellianism. So toxic behaviors we don't like, we're going to try and get away from and not do. How do we do that? Process these things. Talk to someone healthy about this so they can help you understand why you feel this way and what we can do to stop feeling this way. But we got to accept our thoughts and our feelings, okay? We're just human beings, okay? And I'm sorry. Sorry, Rachel, but thank you. And that's the end of my videos, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you much for supporting, subscribing, voting, commenting, sharing, putting it in a playlist. That helps me so much, and I appreciate you so much. Sharing is caring, so share this video with somebody. If you think I've helped you or I could help someone else, support me. Thank you, guys. Always love yourself first. I'll see you next week, okay? Take care. Bye.